Welcome to episode 2 of the Road to 10K on Etsy. Now, if you joined us on the first video, you would have seen that we were starting the Etsy journey once again, just like I did on TikTok Shop, and I was going to document the whole entire thing for you guys. When I made that first upload, I think at that point I still hadn't hit 10 orders. Maybe I had, I don't quite remember, but it was still the beginning stages of Etsy. And at that point in time, don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, I had about 30 listings, something like that, but I wasn't actively listing things up specifically for Etsy. I pretty much just added things that I already had on my website, my TikTok shop over to Etsy. And I started getting sales from these products because they had really great actual product photos. It wasn't just mock-ups or anything. And I was seeing the initial kind of results, some favorites here and there, a couple purchases. We hit 10 orders, maybe at the point that I posted that video or shortly after. And now in episode 2, I'm going to pop up the screenshot right now for you guys to see how many orders we have. And we have 16 orders right now and 3 5-star reviews. Now, 16 orders. It's not great. Things are much slower on Etsy compared to TikTok Shop. I'll be honest with you guys, but I have made a change to my approach. I'm no longer just relying on things that I've already had and kind of just sitting back and waiting for them to sell more and more. I'm actively adding listings on Etsy every single day. And the strategy behind this, or my thought pattern behind it, is that I want to test out designs on Etsy before getting a bunch of samples in, because sample costs add up, but also just they take up a bunch of space really. So I previously bought samples for everything that I was selling, and I had a lot of crew necks that I was just, the pile was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I did not want to keep doing that. So essentially I decided to not order samples right away, but rather test out different designs on Etsy, see which ones get the most views, favorites, purchases, things like that, collect some data, and then hone in on those designs, or also just get a better idea of what works, what doesn't work, get those samples in and sell them across my website, TikTok Shop, and Etsy. So I think it makes for a great experimentation platform compared to just having 60 products on my website. I don't really want to do that. I could do it on TikTok Shop, but on the site it would just cause this big confusion of just too much products, and people would get confused when they would get on and not know where to go. Now everything is under one niche, and someone in the last video asked the question in the comments, hey, can you tell us exactly what your Etsy shop is called? And I'm not going to do that. The reason for it, once again, is I'm testing out a lot of things, and also on Etsy you can just go copy my exact same design and sell it for a cheaper price, and you'll kind of take the market from me. So it's not like TikTok Shop where I would share with you guys every single thing. I would show you my shop and everything, because there I was selling based on my content and the way I would work with affiliates and that sort of thing. So I didn't have much competition, or I couldn't have much competition. I could share things freely with you. But on Etsy, I mean, from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense for me to just show you the designs I'm literally doing and then anyone can just go and take them and make the exact same thing. So that's why I'm not going to tell you my shop name, but I'll show you guys the screenshot of the sales and of the reviews. Now the goal right now is to continue getting those good reviews. 3 5-star reviews for 16 orders looks very good. Again, when people search products on Etsy, they'll see a whole bunch of listings pop up, but one of the things, they don't see how many sales each store has on the first page. They need to click into the product page and then go into the shop page and then see how many sales that shop has, but they see how many reviews you have and your review rating overall. So maintaining that 5 stars is super crucial and super important. In the last video I shared with you guys, whenever you get an order, reach out to your customer immediately, thank them for the order, tell them when it's going to ship out. Once it gets shipped out and delivered, reach out once again, say, hey, I hope you liked the item. If you don't mind leaving us a review, if you have any questions or concerns or things you didn't like, feel free to let me know. That builds up that closer bond with your customers. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is be very careful with the content that you consume when you get onto a new marketplace or you try a new business model overall. Now, I'm not new to ecom, but I am relatively new to Etsy. This is the first time I've had this many sales on Etsy. I tried it with digital products like 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago, but I wasn't serious with anything. I was jumping from one thing to another. This is the first time I'm doing it seriously, and I learned this lesson when I started TikTok Shop. I had a ton of success with it without watching anyone's videos. The mistake a lot of people make is they'll watch too many different creators, and they'll hear too many different opinions, and all of a sudden they can't think for themselves, and they're just copying things that other creators tell them to do, whether it works for them or it doesn't work. It creates a lot of confusion, frustration, frustration and you're not going to get the right results. So for me, and for you starting out Etsy as well, I'm not watching, tens of Etsy videos a day. I'm not watching much at all, honestly. Etsy is straightforward. Good images. If you can get into samples and actually take a real photo shoot, that's best case scenario. If not, use some real person mock-ups, not the fake ones from Printify or something that's just super that everyone is using, or just the item on a white background. Have good titles. So SEO is not like rocket science. A lot of people who do Etsy content always throw out the term SEO like it's some crazy thing. SEO is search engine optimization. Put in the correct, accurate keywords related to your listing when it comes to things that people are going to search, making it searchable pretty much. So if you sell a sweater in the book niche, in the book talk, whatever it's called, bookish, don't just put men's unisex or a unisex sweatshirt, embroidered unisex sweatshirt in the title. Like that's just too general. You don't want to be putting these super general things, or Christmas gifts. That's super general, and is gonna throw you into a pack of thousands and thousands of other listings. You want to be very specific. So that's SEO for you right there. Descriptions, make the description concise but offer good information to your customers. How long shipping and delivery is going to take. Is the item embroidered? Is it direct to garment printing? You offer different color options. And then when it comes to options or variations that you offer, you don't want to fall into the paradox of choice where you offer too many different styles or too many different colors for one product. So when I pick the design that I want to put on a crew neck, I envision the color crew neck that I want it to go on and the color of the embroidery. And I'm not going to give them 20 different color options because that's going to be too confusing and overwhelming. I'll do one, maybe maximum 2 color options that kind of go together, and I envision them in my head for that design. Usually I'm just going with one. So you don't want to offer too much choice. Then when it comes to your actual Etsy shop homepage, you can call it, make sure you have a nice, clean, simple banner. Don't go spend days on this. Doesn't really matter that much at the end of the day, but it's nice to have it clean. Add an about section for your shop that's super concise and describes what you sell. And then in the announcements, again, talk about shipping and delivery times, if you have any new releases, and where they can reach out to you. If you want to include your website there, if there's some sort of special discount you're offering, listed there. Any relevant and actually useful information, you can put it there. And then pretty much from then on out, make sure your shop has a focus, it has a theme. It's not just random things like city sweatshirts, but then you're also selling nurse crew necks, but then you're also selling hoodies for preschool teachers, some weird, or bridesmaid or something on a crew neck. Like that's just such a weird mess of different products that it makes no sense. And you're just shooting in the dark, hoping that you can actually catch something. Eventually it's going to take a bunch of time. There's no passion behind it. There's no purpose. Make everything that you do purposeful. That's just general business advice. And this was just supposed to be an update video on my journey, but I'm over here preaching. But I just get frustrated when I watch a lot of different business content just preaching these super unnecessary information pretty much, and it just causes a lot of confusion for people. So I try to simplify as much as possible, which is what I'm trying to do right now, especially for beginners. But keep your shop simple, straightforward, straight to the point, and then continue to add more and more listings in that particular niche, improving the product photos, improving the designs. You're going to get better at designing stuff. Like I've genuinely improved so much in just a couple of weeks, and I pretty much just do simple embroidery designs with text and phrases, things like that. So I might have like small little additions I'll add to, like a little heart or something that can be embroidered without really raising the cost. But I'm not doing any crazy embroidered images or anything like that, keeping it very simple. And let the design speak for themselves. Embroidery is something that it kind of speaks for itself, right? You don't need to do too much crazy embroidery. It's simplicity will be very appealing, and it looked classy and clean. So that's episode number 2, guys. 16 orders, 3 5-star reviews, hoping to get more orders. I mean, now it's been November and December that I've been on Etsy. I've just more recently started documenting the journey and actually started being active on the platform. I add anywhere from 1 to 3 listings a day. The products that I add are crew necks, some t-shirts, and hats. I really like the dad hats, but they're all in one theme, one kind of direction, right? So it's not random designs on things, but just I don't want to offer again too much of a variety of even products. So it's crew necks gonna be for me, shirts and hats, and then I'll keep experimenting with things. And that's the beauty of print on demand, is you can keep experimenting without getting in any inventory or really taking much risk. So that's where we're at. I hope you guys follow along the journey and hope you're staying consistent. I hope a lot of you guys didn't quit in the time from when I posted episode 1 to episode 2, because we're in this journey together. And you guys will see me reach that 10K very, very soon. And hopefully we can hit the top together, and I'll see you there. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm out.